The process of creating the makeup effects for Species 4 really started with us doing rough sketches and designs and slowly refining with Nick and Frank's input until we arrived at a look that everyone was happy with for the characters. The Miranda alien was very much inspired by the H.R. Giger and Steve Johnson Sill designs from the original films, and the look that we were going for was a very tall and thin, extremely sexy, very streamlined alien. Nick's original input was that he wanted her to look like a runway model on heroin, and so that was our departure point. After we'd nailed down what Miranda, the main character, was going to look like, we began to do designs for some of the other characters and the other effects we had to generate for the film. We worked with a few different designers and a storyboard artist to get all of the concepts down onto paper before we began building. And once that was done, we had a total of 7 weeks from start to finish to build everything for the film before we began shooting. So the timeline was extremely tight, and because of this schedule, we actually began sculpting the alien bodysuit before we had a performer to go inside of it, which is unorthodox. And the sculpture also had to double for both female aliens. We took about 1 week from start to finish to sculpt the suit, which was sculpted almost single-handedly by Doyle Tranquina. And he then subsequently sculpted a crown piece which would overlap the suit, and then a face which would overlap the crown as a one-piece prosthetic. We sculpted different faces for the Miranda and Azura aliens, with the Azura alien face looking far more sinister and menacing, trying to match her character. Both the hands and the feet were sculpted in such a way that the bodysuit could overlap them. Once the sculptures were finished, the mold-making process could begin, which in the case of the bodysuit was done as a 2-piece fiberglass mold due to its size. I believe the mold took approximately 2 days to finish, and once that was completed, the foam rubber skins could begin to be generated, and then the work of tailoring and finishing the suits could be done. At the same time that the suits were being fabricated, we began the sculpture of the alien cocoon, which was the single biggest effect we had to create for the film. The idea with the cocoon is that we wanted to see an actor inside it. We wanted to fit an actor inside the actual cocoon. So we began the sculpture by using a body form as our sculpting armature. And we wanted the look of the cocoon to be kind of like a soft gelatinous material growing out of Giger-esque biomechanics. And those biomechanics would kind of attach the cocoon to the walls of the lab, like vines climbing the side of a building. We had to make a heavy-duty steel frame for the cocoons that would support not only the weight of the cocoon, which itself weighed about 300 pounds, but also the actresses that were going to go inside them. After some testing, we ended up casting the cocoon's skin out of a water-clear urethane so that the actresses could be seen from outside the cocoons. Tom Colleen painted the cocoon skins, the 2 skins, in about 3 days. With the different makeups we had to do for the film, we started out by taking a live cast of each actor. In Marco's case, we not only had to construct a makeup, but also a realistic dummy for the Ronaldo death scene, so he had to be live cast twice. The Ronaldo character had kind of an alien mouth within a mouth that would shoot out in key scenes of the film. So we achieved that by creating a puppet mouth that would strap onto Marco kind of like a reverse backpack. And then we would use a prosthetic appliance that would go over that and cover half of Marco's face. That would give the impression that his head was being ripped open. For both Miranda and Azura, we had to create what we were calling half-transformation makeups for key moments when the inner alien inside of them would begin to erupt out from their human body. So we designed a series of prosthetics for both Marlene and Helena that we would apply over almost their entire body. And it was difficult, but thankfully both ladies were extremely patient and helpful with what was probably a very arduous task. In addition to the half transformation, poor Helena would get covered in sickly alien rashes throughout the film. We did a few different test makeups before Nick suggested that the rashes would kind of emerge as sort of as a blood disorder, traveling through the veins in her body, which is how we ended up applying the makeup to Helena in varying stages of severity throughout the film. It took our makeup team about an hour to apply the alien suits on top of our two performers, Natalia and Veronica. The suits were painted by Mark Jarenko, and the color schemes of the two aliens were different. The Miranda was a fleshy pink, and Azura was a kind of a cold blue. Performing inside a creature suit really isn't easy, and so our girls did a spectacular job. In particular, working in the fight sequence that would be the finale for the movie. The girls spent something like 15 hours straight inside the alien suits. It was just a marathon. For Ronaldo's death, we used our dummy and smashed it in between two cars, and then shortly thereafter set it on fire. And we shot all that just before the explosion that was the finale of the movie. Everything worked out really well, and I think that's in thanks to the amazing crew, the hard work of everybody, not just on the makeup effects crew, but the whole film's crew. Everybody was very dedicated and talented, and I couldn't have asked for a better crew to work with. All I can say is that I really hope that I get to work with them all again sometime very soon.